Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. It's May 9th. I know the screen says May 8th. Let me change that really quick. It's May 9th. And tonight was Smackdown Live. Tonight's Smackdown was from the O2 Arena in London, England, just like last night's Raw was. Tonight's show, I really can't say much about it. It was a show. Oh, crap. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let me fix this. All right. So it is May 9th, 2017. Smackdown Live is tonight from the O2 Arena, the same arena that last night's Monday Night Raw took place. Okay, let me fix the screen here. Alright, should be good now. May 9th, not May 8th. I don't know what I was thinking. So I had yesterday's date on there. But yeah, so tonight's Smackdown Live. It was an okay show. I don't know exactly what to say about it other than it wasn't any better than last night's Raw. I mean, the show opened up with a very, very long video package recapping the whole stuff that's been going on with Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. And then Randy Orton did kick off the show. Orton said he did lose at Payback, and that was because of Mahal, not because Bray Wyatt or a refrigerator. He was quickly interrupted by Mahal and the Singh brothers. Mahal sounded like he was sick, had a very raspy voice, said he would win the title, and showed the promotional pictures that he had taken the week before with the championship when he had it stolen. Mahal said that he would take the title back to his people, wear it at the Taj Mahal in India, they would erect a statue of him. Alright, Mahal then started speaking in Punjabi. Kevin Owens came out and got a good reaction from the crowd. Owens said that nobody cared about the House of Horrors, nobody cares about Mahal, nobody cares about India. Crowd then cheered for Owens a little bit when then he said nobody cares about England. He then talked about what he did to Chris Jericho, and out came AJ Styles. AJ Styles interrupted. The director cut to a shot of the two fans who were somehow surprised that AJ came out. I don't know how they found those fans. Owens said that Styles doesn't need to be out here and this doesn't concern him. AJ said, "You might be the new face of America, but I'm the face that built SmackDown Live." Baron Corbin then did come out. Baron Corbin came out and was attacked by Sami Zayn pretty quickly. The crowd started doing the Olay chants. Typical opening segment. This then led to later on in the night a 6-man tag where we had Orton, Zayn, and Styles taking on Mahal, Owens. Who am I missing? Mahal, Owens, and Baron Corbin. I don't know what I'm thinking there. All right, let's see who's here in the chat with us. We've got Stop the One, Dylan Noel, DeAndre Dukes, Signature Kevin, Sasha Banks Bailey. What is going on, guys? All right. If you guys do want to call into the show, the phone number is 559-475-8473. The line is open if you guys want to talk about SmackDown. If you guys still have anything about last night's Raw you want to talk about, which I doubt anybody does since last night's Raw was not a good show. Or if you want to talk about anything else going on with like the Jinder Mahal injury, not Jinder Mahal, the Braun Strowman injury, the upcoming women's tournament. We have some news on that and other stuff. If you guys got anything you want to talk about, give me a call. Let me know what's on your mind. So next up on SmackDown, Natalya with the welcoming committee took on Becky Lynch with Naomi and Charlotte. Tamina, Carmella, and James Ellsworth were in the ring first, and they introduced Natty. They said she was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Naomi then came out, and she cut a little promo and said, "Let's get Becky." And then Becky Lynch came out. Becky Lynch and then as Becky Lynch and Natty were in the ring, as the bell was about to ring, Charlotte came out and cut a kind of bad promo, and she was all like, I don't need anybody to introduce me. I'm the queen. Like, she's still trying to play heel when she's not supposed to be. So, Natty, the match started off. Natty tripped Becky off the apron and hit a vertical suplex outside the ring. Lynch then fought out of an abdominal stretch, hit a clothesline, drop kick, forearm, spinning kick, and an exploder. Natalya managed to avoid a cover and came back with a forearm. Lynch went to the top rope. Tamina tried to distract her, so Naomi knocked her down. Charlotte pulled Naomi off, and Natty yanked Lynch off the top rope and went for the pin in like a 3-minute match. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Good. First, I want to say I think Smackdown was way better than Raw from yesterday.
Yes, it was a better show, but I mean, that's giving it a little bit of credit because Raw wasn't really good at all.
Yeah, and I always thought about this. How come SmackDown always have like a 30-minute main event than Raw?
I don't know. It's just I know they had enough time to do it tonight because there was it was a 6-man. So essentially, if you would have had those all guys wrestle singles matches, that would have been less time you could have gave the main event. So I understand why it got a lot of time tonight because there was all their big guys in one match. So that makes sense for tonight.
Yeah, but I always see that like they come out like around the 30-minute mark, right, with like 8:30 and stuff like that. And like for the main event on Raw, they always come out like around, for me on my time, 9:50.
But you also got to think Raw gets that 15-minute overrun as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was gonna say is, I like your idea what you said on that video with the heel by natural. What you said about Sami Zayn. I think that would boost his like credit up. You know what I mean?
Okay, what HBN said about turning him heel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be good for him because right now he's a little under the radar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that would get him booed for a while, and then after that he could turn back babyface and get cheered again.
Right. I think the thing with Sami Zayn though is that WWE at one point they look like they're going to push him, and he starts getting a slight push, and then they just drop it, and then we come back a couple months and it starts again for like a month, and then they drop it, and that's the issue with Sami Zayn. They'll never commit. It seems like fully.
Yeah, like today he got that same treatment what he did with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Right.
That time on Raw.
Right.
This is.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Familiar. Yeah. And talking about Roman, today I seen that his entrance on the Facebook Live, and I heard a lot of people cheering him instead of booing him.
Yes, Roman does get, it's like a 50-50 at house shows. He gets cheered and booed at house shows, but for some reason it's like the quote-unquote cool thing to boo him really loud on TV.
So that's what people just do just to make...
Right.
And that Rusev, you think he's talking about the WWE title or some other title?
I think it's the WWE title. He hasn't specified, but I believe it's WWE.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because they said that gender push was supposed to be for him, right?
That's what I had heard.
You think that's what they're trying to do right now with that?
So, yeah.
That's all I have for today.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. Thanks for the call.
You too.
All right. So what he was talking about, the video with Heel by Nature. Heel by Nature and I did a 20-minute podcast-style video on my channel today, kind of testing out the waters to see how it would go. If you guys want to go check that out. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second, guys. I will be right back. Back. All right, so Heel by Nature and I, we did a video talking about Rusev, Jinder Mahal, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Universal Championship. So if you guys could go check that out, it's on my channel. We're going to hopefully try to make it more of a regular thing, and we want to hear from you guys. Did you like it? Did you like what we had to say? Did you like us together? If so, let us know in the comments, and also hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you would like to help out Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you can do so at gawkbox.com/PWUnlimited. Doesn't cost you anything, just takes a couple minutes of your time. Go on the website, interact with it, and hey, it's best done on tablets and mobile devices. Also, you can always hit that super chat button down here in the live stream, or you can go to our TeePublic store and get our t-shirts. Alright, and also if you do want to call in, the phone number is 559-475-8473. So we had the women's match, and then after that we had another quote-unquote, but we had the Fashion Files. This was another thing with Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Fandango greeted Tyler Breeze by saying cheerio, but Breeze turned him down, saying he had already ate breakfast. They stumbled upon a crime scene, which was paint splattered on the floor. Breeze then mentioned that the Usos haven't worn paint in months. Fandango figured they were trying to fool them. They followed the trail into a locker room. Turns out it was the Ascension, and that set up a match later on the night for Breezango versus the Ascension. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim. I'm going to ask 2 questions.
Go for it.
Who do you think are the competitors for the Money in the Bank ladder match going to be?
The competitors, maybe, we don't know because it's still almost 2 months away, but I'm seeing maybe Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger, maybe a Dolph Ziggler, maybe Jinder if he's not the champion, and a Mojo or a Shinsuke Nakamura. You can also maybe throw AJ Styles in there.
Yeah, I feel like Baron Corbin's gonna win.
That's who I would say.
Yeah. My second question is, do you think they're gonna put the tag team titles on Breezango?
I can see it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the Usos are gonna keep the titles, and then after Backlash, they're gonna feud with the New Day.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because New Day's going to come in as baby faces, so you want heel champions. Yes, Breezango are heels, but I think Usos are bigger heels, and they can have better matches with the New Day.
True. Thanks, Tim.
All right, have a good night. Thanks for the call. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. We've got more of you joining us now. AJ Styles. Is Adam Cole coming to WWE? That right now is unknown. He's working the next pay-per-view for Ring of Honor, which is this weekend, I believe. And then we're going to go from there. I don't know. I know his contract with Ring of Honor has expired. But as far as WWE offering him a contract, I haven't heard anything yet. All right, let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
How are you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing great as well, man. Huge fan. Huge fan.
Thank you.
Yes. My question, I had it's more about the Cruiserweight division.
Okay.
What do you think WWE can do to fix the Cruiserweight division? Because, like, yes, Neville is a great champion. He's a great heel, and he's making the Cruiserweight division a little relevant, but it still doesn't bring me in to completely, like, want me to watch 205 Live and tune in every single week.
No, I feel exactly what you're saying, and I feel the same way. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like they're not having bad matches every week. Like, I was there last week, and it was... Who did TJ? It was the TJ Perkins match. I thought was a really good match. I liked it live, but the crowd was just completely dead for it. They, like, didn't react to anything. Also, the main event they had last week, which was Noam Dar and Rich Swann. Match did start out a little slow, but then they really started to ramp it up. The crowd didn't really... I don't know what it is. It's just the crowd's not getting into it. They're not having bad matches, which is the weird thing. I think what it may be is you think the name Cruiserweight. So you just want to see these guys flipping and flying. And yes, WWE may have toned them down a little bit, but I don't think that's all they are anyways. But that's one thing I am hearing. A lot of people are saying, well, why aren't they doing more high-flying moves? Or why aren't they doing more of this kind of stuff that you would think a Cruiserweight would do?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Also, one thing I really don't like about the Cruiserweight, every person in the Cruiserweight division, they're all talented. They're all big names, all talented. I really dislike how WWE take them apart. Like, if they aren't part of WWE, they have to put in the purple robes and like the different, like you know, the names.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever they show up the names, they make it all different. Like, if they weren't a part of Raw or the WWE, like, it should just make them a part of the show like everybody else. Like, they are WWE superstars.
Exactly. And I know last night on Raw, they had the Cruiserweight match. It was TJP and Gallagher, and then they had the Alicia Fox, Sasha Banks match right after that. They actually didn't even get the ring converted back over to normal in time, and Alicia Fox had to, like, play around and pander to the crowd while they got it ready. And that was the same thing last week when I was at SmackDown. SmackDown ended, and immediately they go into changing the ropes and everything for 205 Live. They were barely done changing the ropes. Last guy jumped out of the ring before TJP got in the ring. Like, I don't know why they have to change everything like they do. It's very time-consuming, and they barely get it done every time.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Like, honestly, putting purple ropes and changing everything makes me feel like the WWE don't care. Like, these are different. They're not a part of us.
Right.
So if they don't care, why should I care? It's not bringing me in. Like, have like everything saying, like you said, it's time consuming. Like, make stuff easier. Just let them be a part of the show. And do you think like just like getting I'm not saying getting rid of 205 Live completely. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying, if they could, like, just get more spotlight time on Raw without having purple, like, ropes or whatever, just regular, but having 205 Live like an NXT show and being in a smaller venue, do you think that would make it work?
Oh, I think that would work immensely. Like with the Cruiserweight Classic last year, that was done in the same building, the same place they do NXT,
Hotel.
And that was perfect. But now that they're doing it in these bigger arenas... And I think another issue is, like you were saying, when they put them on Raw, but they don't give them enough time on Raw. So then when 205 Live comes around, half the people that are in the live audience are like, who are these guys? I haven't seen them on TV. Why do I want to care about them now? So that is another thing is if they're going to be on Raw, you need to show more of the guys on Raw so people know who they're actually seeing on 205 Live.
Yeah, because, like, I'm a huge fan of Akira Tozawa before he came into WWE, and it's just sad to see, like, him not be, like, it's not about being treated differently, like he deserves to be at the top spot, not that, but not getting the reaction as he was used to getting in, like, for example, like when he was at PWG or everywhere else he was. Right. It's because, it's WWE most of the people who go to those shows, not everybody, most are casual fans.
Exactly.
You know, they mostly just watch WWE. They don't know like everything on the outside, which is completely understandable. Which is why I feel like the cruiserweight division is failing, because like the cruiserweight classic, it was amazing. It was fantastic. It was the best thing that happened in the summer. And we were all excited. We were like, dang, the cruiserweights are coming back.
Exactly.
Like, this is awesome. This tournament was awesome. And then we got 205 Live and everything else. And if you don't mind me asking you, what's up with this whole UK show, like the UK show? Is it gonna be like taped like NXT?
Yes.
Or?
They taped it last weekend on Saturday and Sunday. They have 2 episodes taped. They're supposed to air before NXT Takeover Chicago, which is the 19th, because it's really both shows are building up to a UK Championship match, which is taking place at NXT Takeover Chicago. They're going to also have, like I said, they filmed everything already over the last weekend, and then this week, Jim Ross and Nigel McGuinness are going to watch the tapes over and do commentary.
Okay, well, it's gonna air on Wednesdays as well.
That I have not heard, but it will be on the network. Probably, it should be, if they're building to a match on the 19th, then it should start next week, I would assume. And I know they use some of the cruiserweights like TJ Perkins, Tozawa, Rich Swann. So some of them, even though they're not UK guys, they were used as well.
Okay. And one last question.
Sure.
Very short one. Ember Moon, is it a work or is it real?
Legit. She's out 4 to 5 weeks.
Legit?
Yeah, when that spot happened where she got knocked off the top rope, she went shoulder first into the barricade, and that's what messed up the shoulder.
So they're changing the match from for the fatal 4-way to a triple threat now?
Correct.
And I'm assuming, I'm assuming because I've been following her for a while, and she is from where I'm from. I was hoping she was gonna, take the title at Chicago.
That's what I thought could have happened, because they had such a good match in Orlando. They were giving her another match, and what I thought they could have done was have her beat like Ruby Riott. So Asuka can still say, I've never been beat. I was never pinned. She took the title by beating somebody else.
Oh, yeah, that would perfectly be great, because that could just transition her into going into the main roster.
Right.
And then she'll still be undefeated.
Exactly, and that's why I thought doing the Fatal 4-Way was the perfect way to do it, because you can still keep that Asuka undefeated streak.
So do you think at NXT TakeOver Chicago, do you think she's retaining? And they're going to save her for Ember Moon?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to drop the title to either Nikki Cross or Ruby Riott. They're both too, I guess you could say, new in NXT, so I don't see either of them getting the title.
Okay. I know I said that was the final question, but I'm really curious about this, so I'm sorry. This will be my last question.
Okay.
The status of Candice LeRae, as I did see her at NXT.
Yes, they used her for the Battle Royal, but other than that, I haven't heard anything.
Do you think possibly they're saving her for the women's tournament?
I mean, they could. She would be a great name to have in that tournament, and I don't see why they wouldn't.
And how many names have they already been confirmed for the women's tournament?
They haven't announced anything. All they've said is 32 women from 17 countries.
32 women?
Yeah,
okay.
I know there's rumors like Marty Bell, Jade, but other than
Deonna Purrazzo?
Not that I've heard, but they could.
I hope. So it's going to have the same format as the Cruiserweight Classic.
Right, that's what I've heard. It's supposed to run just like the Cruiserweight Classic did. And
have the finale is going to be live.
Live on, I had the date. It's end of August, I want to say.
And didn't it land on a Tuesday? I heard it landed.
That's what I read. That's because PW Insider broke the news last week about it, and they were saying that the finale is gonna be on a Tuesday, but that's just weird because you already have SmackDown, you already have 205 Live, and you already have Talking Smack.
Yeah, are they gonna do it earlier? Maybe
they would have to, but it's gonna be weird because you have Triple H and all those guys that would be there to help with the tournament supposed to be at SmackDown. So did they not go to SmackDown and do the tournament? We're just going to have to wait and see exactly what day they do decide to choose.
Yeah, hopefully they can get all that fixed, because the women's tournament, what does the winner, get? Cruiserweight, came out with the brand new championship, and they named the Cruiserweight Championship.
Right.
Now, women's tournament, maybe just a trophy?
I mean, maybe a shot at the NXT Women's title? Or maybe the winner automatically gets to go to the main roster? I don't know.
I mean, you could, the women's tournament finale, does it fall, like, behind, like, SummerSlam? Like, maybe a shot? No, I don't think it's SummerSlam, because they probably have Asuka versus Ember Moon for SummerSlam.
Right,
for the SummerSlam weekend.
Right.
So I was going to say, that would have been a perfect shot for the women's tournament winner.
That could have the winner, like the week before, have the winner determined, and then boom, that next week could go into the SummerSlam weekend. Yeah,
I mean, it's all perfect. Well, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it a lot, man. You're doing awesome work. Big fan.
Well,
thank you for answering my questions.
Not a problem.
We'll call back another time whenever you stream again. I'll call again. I have a lot more questions.
Not a problem. Thanks for the call. Have a great night.
You have a good night.
You too. So as far as the women's tournament goes, there's not much known about it. Like, there's rumors going around. There's some saying it's going to run on Tuesdays. There's some saying that it's going to run from early July to the end of August. But as far as, like, who's going to be in it, we don't know. We can speculate. Marty Bell, Jade, Candice LeRae, Deonna Purrazzo, Rachel Ellering. We can speculate all that. But as far as what does the winner get? Like I said, an NXT Women's title shot, that would be good. Maybe they get a shot at one of the women's titles on the main roster. I don't know. And that's what the big question is what do they get? Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Let's see. Heel by Nature is here. What's going on, buddy? Ganish, COC, Henry Capazza. Let's see. Signature Kevin says, I believe they could get a one or two people like I would put Mark Andrews in 205 Live. That would work. He would be really good on 205 Live, and he's got a name. Let's see. Henry Capazza says, Raw has two events in a row, Extreme Rules and then Great Balls of Fire. Well, in between those, SmackDown is going to have Money in the Bank. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I have a few questions.
Sure.
The first one is AJ Styles like a face now?
I believe so.
I mean, because he's not really, like, bashing the crowd anymore.
Right.
Or, I mean, obviously the crowd wouldn't have, really took it harsh anyway, but he's not, like, bashing the crowd anymore and...
right, yeah. If you look how everything's split on SmackDown now, he would fit over there on the face side.
Yeah. So, any early projections on the main event of SummerSlam?
I honestly don't know because, first off, I'm hearing Jinder can get the title of Backlash. If Jinder gets the title of Backlash, we don't know how long he can hold it. And then as far as with Brock Lesnar and the Universal title, I can maybe see them doing Braun Strowman there since he's not going to be able to wrestle at Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah. I mean, Mahal with the title, though, really?
Hey, Vince really wants to push towards India. He wants to get them... Because if you look... I mean, you can't really look, but if you know that WWE's social media accounts, they get more views in India than any other country. Vince has now learned that, so he wants to really push India to make more money there.
Yeah, I mean, he had to look at all the other countries. Well, I mean, India is a great country, but
Right.
Putting the title, I mean, it's just more of like a whole. You put the title on CM Punk and then you regret it or something like that. It's just I don't see it like fitting.
I mean, unless they just put the title on Jinder and then at Money in the Bank he loses it to Rusev, and that's just a way for them to say, well, we didn't have to have a big guy lose to Rusev, and then Rusev can go in and feud with somebody else.
Rusev, I think the best person to win Money in the Bank would be somebody like a Ty Dillinger or Baron Corbin,
Right. I've been saying Baron Corbin for a couple weeks now.
Mm-hmm. I honestly think I get that this is a brand split, but like the Money in the Bank, I think it'd be interesting if you have two. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like I think Money in the Bank should have been a Raw and SmackDown like exclusive pay-per-view. I mean, I know you have the big four and you have to split it, but like, I just feel like there should be like one Raw match and one SmackDown match.
Exactly. That's what I would have thought. Or maybe you can throw 2 or 3 Raw guys in there, but then at that point you're going to say, oh, well, the Raw guys aren't going to win it since it's a SmackDown pay-per-view anyways.
Yeah, or then obviously you could have a shock and have a Raw guy,
right,
you know, win it. But I mean, I just think this whole brand split. I don't know. I told you this before, and I'll tell you it again. I don't like the brand split. Like, it's just like there's not enough guys. Like, yes, the Superstar Shakeup brought new matches, but the thing is like you go and you take. Like, we're never going to see Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles again, or not for another couple of years, and that was incredible. That was an incredible match that they had. I mean, I'm not going to say that they had to waste it again and waste that match, but, I mean, that's a match that we want to see again. Or look at AJ Styles versus anybody in the Raw, Finn Balor, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Balor. We're not going to see that because of this brand split. And people want to talk about splitting Enzo and Cass up. Well, I mean, that's great and all, but there's 2 problems with that. Where does that leave Enzo? Because Enzo is just a little weasel in the ring, no offense to him. And also, that's a big tag team on Raw. So, I mean, if you didn't have the brand split, I would go for it, but that's a big tag team on Raw.
Exactly.
And splitting that up, those tag titles won't mean as much.
Right, and I know WWE loves when they do their entrance. I mean, that's why they came out first in the Tag Team Turmoil match. Yeah, they weren't going to win it, so they made them come out first so they can do that entrance.
Yeah, that's pretty much Enzo. That's all Enzo has.
Exactly.
I mean, who is your favorite tag team?
Favorite tag team? I mean, probably Sheamus and Cesaro right now.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're heels. They're both heels?
I mean, Sheamus and Cesaro are good. They're just boring to me. The Hardy Boys aren't bad, but the SmackDown tag team division grew. I like the American Alpha. I like them. They're really good.
I would have said American Alpha, but because WWE has just not done well with them, I've kind of just like, they're whatever to me now.
Yeah, and that just goes with the fact that the brand split isn't the best idea that WWE ever had. I mean, it worked back in the day. There's no doubt it worked back in the day. That's how superstars got their opportunities back in the day. But nowadays, you only have 6 women on each brand, and you're pushing titles that don't make any sense. Like back to what the other caller was saying about the cruiserweights. I don't watch the cruiserweights. I mean, you know what I do when the cruiserweights go on? I go and look for a snack for the next match. I mean,
right.
I don't. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying that like they're bad wrestlers, like T.J. Perkins or Brian Kendrick and like I like Cedric Alexander, but like the thing is, it's so dull. Like the cruiserweights have like no. I mean, I was at WrestleMania and
okay.
I actually got into that cruiserweight match because I was one of the only ones in the stadium, or one of the only ones that were into it.
Right.
But it's like, I mean, I'm getting my Oreos during the cruiserweight, so they need to like. And the cruiserweights are just making the exclusive 205 live show.
They just need to, if they're on Raw, like I said, if they're on Raw, they need to make them more important and make them stand out in a different way. And like the first month of the cruiserweights, from what like late August, September to like October, I was digging the whole T.J. Perkins versus Brian Kendrick feud for that purple title. But like that was a good feud, and then after that, it's like I'm getting my snack. Right.
It's not good. Same with like the old SmackDown tag team division that sucked too. So. But, all right, well, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call. Have a great night.
You too.
But yeah, like he said again, with the cruiserweights, it's just the fact of WWE is not pushing them to make them seem important. They're just, the way they use them, it's like, okay, if you're not Austin Aries and you're not Neville and you're not TJ Perkins, you don't matter. And even with those 3, it's almost like they just try to rush things. Like they give them a 3-minute time slot during Raw to have a match. TJ Perkins, Jack Gallagher literally went like 3 minutes yesterday. So I don't know what you can really do to help them. Yeah, like the last caller said, give them their own show. Just keep them only on 205 Live. But what's that going to do? That's going to be even less people seeing them and less people even caring, because at least with them on Raw, you see a little bit of them. Let's see. Henry Capaza says Balor needs to turn heel and finally form the Balor Club. They need to do something with him, because, I mean, I don't know what plans they really have other than him feuding with Bray Wyatt right now. Henry Capaza says, when Lana debuts, will she be heel or face? I don't know. We don't even know if she's going to come with Rusev or if she's going to be completely separate from Rusev. I would assume separate. Rusev is coming back next week, and maybe Lana can come back with him. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so back to SmackDown. We then had Eric Rowan versus Luke Harper. No entrance for Harper. He came out during the commercial. JBL said Harper looks like The Walking Dead. He kind of looks like a normal man with a large beard. Kind of makes no sense, but JBL said it. And a lot of things JBL says don't make sense. Crowd then started chanting Fire Bradshaw, which was kind of weird because he made this comment and the crowd starts chanting and they don't hear him. Anyways. So Phillips let us know that they've been fired up the last 2 nights. JBL didn't acknowledge anything. Rowan won in a 4-minute match, which was all right. It had a crappy spinning slam to end it. The referee was distracted momentarily after Rowan grabbed his sheep mask, allowing him to poke Harper in the eyes and move on. Like I said, not that good of a match, and I've heard that they could extend this to Backlash. We then had Dolph Ziggler and Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring. Ziggler received a alright reaction. Wasn't anything to call home about or anything. He immediately called the fans hypocrites. He said that he's been doing this for 8 years, but feels like it's been more like 12. Ziggler talked about how hard he has worked, called himself a movie star. I don't know what he thinks. He's either Miz now or something. I don't know. He said the crowd doesn't appreciate him, and the crowd chanted for Nakamura. Ziggler mentioned that Nakamura hasn't even had a match on SmackDown Live, and that, the crowd then started chanting NXT. Ziggler then let them know that those chants would be edited out of the show, which obviously they were not, which was kind of funny though. He then rambled on some more about the crowd and Nakamura, and then Ziggler called Nakamura out. Nakamura came out and the crowd loudly sang his theme song. Announcers put over that Nakamura is a special thing and that the crowd started chanting for Nakamura, and they said that, Nakamura is an attraction. Ziggler was tired of the theatrics and said that it was about time for him to put up or shut up. Before he could though, Nakamura grabbed the mic and told him to shut up. Nakamura then asked if Ziggler wanted to see what he can do, and the crowd chanted yes. Ziggler said he would show Nakamura right now. Took off his jacket. Referee jumped in the ring, thought we were getting a match, but then Ziggler said, no, we're getting this at Backlash. Ziggler then attacked him, but Nakamura came back with a forearm and a knee. He then kicked Ziggler right out of the ring. Crowd chanted for Nakamura. Ziggler, okay, whatever. It wasn't a bad segment. I mean, it was better than the one they had 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, so that's a positive. Backstage, we then had Sami Zayn. He wanted to talk strategy with Orton and Styles. He again played the annoying kid role like he did with just Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on Raw. They pretty much did the exact same thing where he was like, let's do this. Oh man, what about this? And they were just like, okay, cool, yeah. They zoomed in on Zayn, and of course, he had his eyes open all wide, and they were just whatever, yeah. Made Zayn look like a geek again. We then had Breezango versus the Ascension. Tom Phillips made a remark about how they aren't allowed to play dress-up anymore because of JBL. I don't know. I guess maybe JBL been bullying them. I don't know. The crowd sang and danced for Fandango. He picked up a pinfall in a 3-minute match after a diving leg drop on Victor. Usos then came out afterwards. They congratulated Breezango for getting a couple of wins, but they weren't that excited and that they weren't going to beat them at Backlash. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the in the chat before we get on to the final segments of SmackDown. Ganesh says New Day are now in India. Okay, cool. I heard they were going to be using them to do some sort of public, not public stuff, but some sort of like media stuff. See what else you guys are saying. Jaden Bevins says AJ versus Zayn versus Owens at SummerSlam for the WWE title. Well, that's saying that AJ gets the title then? Because if you think about it, AJ's not even lined up for a WWE title match by then, and Kevin Owens should still be the U.S. champion. So maybe you just switch that and say U.S. title. Could be good. You have AJ win the title at Backlash, hold it till SummerSlam, and then have Kevin get it back at SummerSlam. Eric Rowan was the heel and Luke Harper was the face. They changed because last time Luke Harper was heel, Rowan was the face. Very true. I remember that, yes. Back in 2014, 15? AJ Styles said, when will New Day become SmackDown Live Tag Champs? I mean, they got to return first. I think it's going to come not long after Backlash. Kofi shouldn't be... He wasn't supposed to be out that long. It was like a month or two. 2 months max. So I think you maybe do it at SummerSlam. That would be a good one. Money in the Bank. Probably SummerSlam. Give them that big win in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Let's see. Henry Capazza says, I think Mike and Maria will debut at Backlash since Chicago's Maria's hometown. Maybe, but like I said yesterday, and I've been saying, ever since that show in Boston, I haven't heard anything about them either talking to WWE. Yes, like I said, they were backstage in Boston from what I heard, but nothing else has happened since then. Broken T, whoever came up with the Great Balls of Fire for July pay-per-view needs to get fired from WWE. Why would WWE name a July pay-per-view Great Balls of Fire? I don't get it. I mean, why would they name any month's pay-per-view Great Balls of Fire? I know they kind of tried to tease that it was Dean Ambrose's idea last night when he was on the phone with Kurt. He goes, hey, I got a cool name for a new pay-per-view. So, I mean, they teased something there. Let's see. Ramiro says, do you really want New Day the Tag Champs? Kind of bored of them. I mean, it's better than what they're doing on SmackDown. I honestly think so. I'm not bored of New Day. I mean, a lot of people are, a lot of people aren't. It's really split as far as New Day goes. We then had a backstage segment. Mojo was giving a child a tour. He then sat them down. He then sat them down and told them a story. Instead of telling them about the man who went undefeated for 15 years, he spoke about a kid who was bullied and treated differently because he was different. But the kid took it as motivation and went on to become a legend. Mojo then showed them his big trophy from winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. One of the girls asked if she could touch it. He said yes, but then kind of spooked her before she could. She kicked him in the leg. They all had a laugh, and it was a horrible SmackDown segment. They aired the Rusev video that he had posted on social media this morning, basically saying, 2 weeks ago, I asked Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan for answers. I told them that I wanted a championship match at Money in the Bank, and I haven't heard from them. I feel disrespected. I feel like, they haven't given me the respect I deserve, and I'm coming next week to SmackDown. And if you guys don't give me what I want, I'm going to pack my bags, and I'm going to go to Bulgaria. I'm going to go home. Well, that's pretty much the Rusev thing. I think he's going to get the title match at Money in the Bank. We then go on to 6-man tag match main event with Jinder, Baron, and Owens taking on Orton, Zayn, and AJ Styles. Everyone got, of course, short entrances. Styles and Corbin started the match. Styles tagged in Zayn. Corbin tagged out to Mahal. Zayn eventually tagged in Orton, but Mahal tagged in Owens. Orton sent him out of the ring, and they went to commercial break. So basically nothing happened before the commercial. Crowd chanted for Styles, who hit a drop kick when the commercial came back on Mahal. He then tagged in Zayn. Owens got the better of Zayn, who was now bleeding. He got busted in the nose. And didn't look like anything serious, but the ref did have to put his gloves on, which it's weird. You see this in UFC too. When there's blood, the refs put gloves on. but they're not worried about the competitors in the blood. So I don't understand that. Let's see. The blood did come from a shot in the corner from Kevin Owens. It looked like Owens was the one who caught him in the nose. The heels then worked over Sami Zayn for a while. Zayn got a hot tag on Styles, who did some quick strikes on Baron Corbin and knocked Owens off the ring apron. You got a 2 count on Corbin, which got a "too sweet" chant. That's something I've noticed recently when they go 1, 2, and then the crowd goes "sweet." They were doing it last week when I was at Smackdown too. And I noticed it a couple weeks ago as well on TV. It's kind of cool. It's different. It's not just a UK thing either. They've been doing it here in the States. Sami Zayn then did a dive over the top rope as everybody was brawling outside. AJ Styles then jumped up on the ring apron, went for the forearm, but it was tripped up by Kevin Owens. Corbin only managed to get a 2 count off of this. This then allowed the heels to take over once again. Styles nailed Owens with the facebuster and made the hot tag to Orton. Orton hit a power slam on both Mahal and Corbin, as well as a dragging DDT to Owens. The Singh brothers then did distract Randy Orton, allowing Mahal to catch him with a forearm. Everyone started trading their moves until Orton caught Owens with a RKO. Mahal then got back in the ring, hit his Cobra Clutch bomb, and pinned Randy Orton. It was like a 20-something minute match. Wasn't bad at all. Like I have nothing bad to say about that match. It was a good 6-man. Very good. Everyone got spotlighted well. I mean, of course, Sami Zayn was the one that got beat on throughout most of the match. But, you know, overall, I liked the main event. Ramiro says, will Sami ever get pushed? It's like I said earlier. It's a thing of they start to push him for about 3 to 4 weeks. And as they hit that 4-week mark, they say, never mind. We'll beat him again. And then we'll come back about 3-4 months later and they start pushing. Nope, back down. So it's very strange exactly what they do with Sami Zayn. I don't know if it's a thing of, we'll start to push him and then we'll, boom, take it away from him. The crowd's going to be sympathetic. I don't know. Signature Kevin, we need that "I'm not finished with you" shirt. I would buy it. I'll have it up. I should have it up tonight. I got pretty busy with some other stuff today. I was getting that video Heal by Nature, and I edited up and stuff. If you guys haven't seen that, Heal by Nature and myself did a 20-minute podcast-style video on my channel where we talked about Jinder Mahal getting his push, Money in the Bank. We talked about Braun Strowman's injury and what that now means for both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. We talked about Rusev and we talked about JBL last night on Bringing to the Table. So it was really good. I enjoyed doing it. I know Heal by Nature enjoyed doing it. And if you guys like it, show it the love that we want it to have. Let us know what you thought about it. We want to make this a regular thing. So if you can, go over to my channel. Check out the video. It's titled PWU Podcast with Heal by Nature. And let us know what you think. It's only like 20 minutes long. It's not like something that you're going to sit there for an hour and a half like I usually do here on the live stream. But yeah, go check it out. Listen to what we had to say. Let us know what you guys think of not just the topics we talked about, but us together. Let us know your thoughts, what you think we should talk about next time. And yeah, if this goes over well, we'll do more. We'll do some on my channel. We'll do stuff on his channel. And we'll go from there. Something that we really want to keep doing. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? It's me, Ruben.
How's it going?
Good. I have a fast question. Do you think Bobby Roode loses the title on NXT Chicago? You think he can go to the main roster or no?
He's not going to lose the title in Chicago as he's facing Hideo Itami. And then I know in Brooklyn, he's supposed to put the title on the line against McIntyre.
Oh, they're going to New York too?
Yeah, they've done it just like the last 2 years.
Oh, like SummerSlam, that's right?
Right, SummerSlam weekend.
Oh, yeah, like I was like thinking like if Bobby Roode loses the title, I think he's going to the main roster. Like, he's not gonna lose it, that's right?
No, not in Chicago. They can swerve us, but I can probably say with 95% certainty he's not losing that title in Chicago, especially not to Hideo Itami, who right now they're just trying to see if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, like, oh, do you know who's gonna who's the new face who's gonna face Brock Lesnar? Like, Braun Strowman is injured. That's right.
With Braun Strowman out, I suggested like a Seth Rollins, because whoever faces Brock at Great Balls of Fire, obviously they're not going to win. So if you look at everybody on Raw, babyface wise, Seth Rollins works, because you can have Seth Rollins come out of the Samoa Joe feud very strong and then beat him with Brock, and it won't hurt him as much as, say, if you beat Finn Balor right now, because Finn just came back from an injury. Finn hasn't done much on the main roster yet. So when you look on the babyface side, as far as babyface main eventers on Raw, who can lose to Brock but it won't hurt them the most? I feel it could be Seth Rollins.
Yeah, well, I don't know, like, I don't know. I think Seth is gonna lose, but like, I think he's gonna lose. I don't know. Like, I'm watching like that. I think Brock is gonna like take the title to WrestleMania 34. That's right.
Right now the plan is for Brock Lesnar to possibly hold the title all the way to WrestleMania. Now he could lose it in between and get it back by WrestleMania, but the plan is Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Universal title match, WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans.
Yeah. You don't have no more questions of Batista and coming back to WWE? No?
But Batista was on Jericho's podcast and said that, hey, I've been calling Vince. I've had multiple talks with Vince and say, hey, I want one more last run, but I want it against Triple H. And Vince tells him the same thing every time. Okay, we'll think about it. We'll let you know what we come up with. And he never hears anything back. And he's the one that keeps contacting them, not them contacting him.
Yeah, I don't know, but it can be on the Royal Rumble or on WrestleMania, that's right. But you never know. Like, he can come back into the Royal Rumble.
I mean, I think Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania next year, perfect.
Yeah,
it would be Batista's final match, because that's what he said. He wants to do one last match, but if he does it with anybody, he really wants to do it with Triple H. It would be his final match. He would never wrestle again, and he'd go on from there. But apparently, I don't know what the deal is, Vince isn't interested, I guess, is the way he made it sound.
Yeah. The final match, it was on Vengeance, that's right, 2005. That was his last against Triple H. Like, it was Hell in a Cell.
Well, no, his last match was when they were doing the feud with Evolution versus the Shield.
Oh, yeah.
They lost to the Shield. That next night on Monday Night Raw, he came out with Triple H and was like, I'm done doing your dirty work. I'm done being out here just to do what you want me to do. Waved at Triple H, walked off. Haven't seen him since in the WWE.
Oh, he wants a title. Remember, he said he owned the title. Like,
he said that he deserved a better opportunity than what Triple H was giving him, and if Triple H wasn't going to give it to him, bye.
Okay, that was my final question. Thank you, man.
All right, thanks for the call. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
All right. Cesar Bardelis, Leo Rush. Leo Rush left Ring of Honor and has signed with Evolve. I know a lot of people did want to see him in WWE, but he has gone to Evolve. Gerardo Mendoza, what's the plan for Nakamura after Backlash? Nobody knows. I don't even know if WWE knows. All we do know is that at Backlash, it's going to be Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. Other than that, I don't know. Heel by Nature said in our video today that he thinks they should put him in the Money in the Bank. They could. Maybe they give him the Money in the Bank, but I don't know if Vince would be up for that. So we're just going to have to wait and see. It's kind of like with, you say, okay, well, what do they do with AJ Styles after he's done with Kevin Owens? Do they automatically throw him into the WWE title picture? Or do they wait on that and do something else with him? Maybe have him feud with Baron Corbin or something. It's one of those things that it's just, right now it's hard to tell because the booking doesn't really show where they can go long term. I mean, the only guys that we knew that they had any long-term plans for were Braun Strowman. They had long-term plans for him for at least like the next 6 months, I heard. And then Roman. They want Roman, Brock, next year's WrestleMania. Other than that, they really don't have long-term plans for anybody. Henry Capazza, if Braun can't wrestle at Great Balls of Fire, who will wrestle Brock? Like I said, I suggested Seth Rollins. It's my suggestion because he can lose and it would hurt him the least. Cesar Bardeles says they should put the NXT title on Roderick Strong. I really believe with the video package they showed over the last couple of weeks that by the end of the year, Roderick Strong could be, either Survivor Series weekend or maybe Royal Rumble weekend. Give that title to Roderick Strong. They're going to start pushing him, so why not? Survivor Series weekend, perfect. Signature Kevin, do you think Eric Young will ever get an NXT championship match and win the title? Unknown as far as that goes, because right now he's in Sanity. Right now Sanity is just a whatever group. Like, they're okay. There's a cool concept behind them, I guess you can say. But there's nothing special about them. And so that kind of takes away from Eric Young himself, because we know how good Eric Young can be. We've seen Eric Young be really good, and I just don't know. I think maybe he needs to end that Sanity thing first. Yes, they could have Sanity assist him and help him win the championship, but who does he beat? Who do they beat like that as far as, screwing over? They would need a babyface champion, so maybe they have to wait till Roddy gets the title and then do Roddy versus Eric Young. DeAndre Duke says, that Lana promo video. All them Lana promo videos. How about I just say that? Stop the Wand says, anything on John Cena? I know he is making a movie right now. Right, John Cena is filming Daddy's Home 2. Now, he does have another movie he has to film this year called The Pitch. Or The Pact, Not The Pitch, The Pact. I don't know when that movie's to be filmed. If that movie is going to be filmed right after he finishes Daddy's Home 2, then I don't see him being back in time for SummerSlam. If he doesn't have to film that movie till later on in the year, then maybe he can come back for SummerSlam and not be around for Survivor Series. I know they're not working on Cena's schedule. It's more of, he's working around the movie studio schedule. So we're going to have to wait and see on Cena. He's going to be out for a while. Jaden says, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match. That would be amazing. We kind of saw it at WrestleMania 32 in the not Money in the Bank, but the IC title ladder match, and those two were great there. AJ Styles says, is Nakamura versus Cena happening? I don't know. Cena has to come back first, and we got to see where Nakamura actually is as far as the SmackDown brand goes once Cena does return. DeAndre Dukes, your reaction when you first heard the name Great Balls of Fire. Soon as I heard the name, first thing I thought was the Jerry Lee Lewis song. Like, woo, Great Balls of Fire. That's literally, instantly, the first thing that came to mind as soon as I read Great Balls of Fire. Like, I was like, what the hell? Great Balls of Fire. Like, instantly, that's what I thought of. Signature Kevin, do you think Eric Rowan and Luke Harper should be a tag team? Again, to become a monster tag team. I believe that would be great if they were a tag team together. Make them a heel team on SmackDown. That'd be perfect. One thing I am waiting for is to see the Revival finally get a run on Raw. I know Dash Wilder got hurt, and that's why they're both out right now. Dash should be back in like 4 to 6 weeks. And I hope WWE doesn't squander them. We've seen other tag teams come from NXT like the the Ascension, who are a great tag team in NXT, and once they made it to the main roster, they were just a nothing. So I don't think it will, because they're way better than the Ascension ever was. I just hope that they use them right, because if used right, they can be the number one tag team in freaking, not just all WWE, but like almost all wrestling. So, and they're right up there, in my opinion. Like, you say, okay, who's the best tag team in wrestling today? The Young Bucks. But who's number 2? I can really probably say either the Revival or DIY. Probably Revival. Henry says, will there be an official draft, or was Superstar Shakeup a mini draft? I've heard 2 different things. I've heard one, Superstar Shakeup was the draft. I've also heard that they're going back and forth on whether they want to do an actual draft this year. And if they do, it would probably come after SummerSlam. I think maybe they should maybe do it around like November. But with them switching like 12 guys on each show at the Superstar Shakeup, that really to me did feel like a normal draft. AJ Styles with New Day become SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. I would assume. I mean, that's what I think. Broken Trey Boyd says, any update on the Hardy rights? Last I heard. So here's the last thing I heard. WWE sent an offer to Impact and saying, here's how much we'll pay you for the gimmick. But we want everything. We want all the trademarks. We want all the intellectual properties. And we want it by this time. Impact only apparently had some sort of trademark on one part of it. I guess the Broken Hardy name. Broken Matt Hardy or Broken Hardy. They didn't have a trademark on everything. Come last week, I think it was like the 27th, 28th, they filed for a trademark on Broken Brilliance, Brother Nero, Vanguard 1, and I think Senior Benjamin. So they filed for all those trademarks, and now they're waiting to see if they get them. If they get them, then they're going to transfer everything over to WWE. But from what I did hear, there could be a clause in this offer that WWE made to them saying that if you can't get us everything we're asking for, if you can't get all the trademarks to us, if you can't get us all the intellectual properties, then we can just take it and not have to pay you anything. We'll get the trademarks. We'll buy everything ourselves. And the issue with that, though, is that, yes, they can get all the trademarks they want, but if Impact still does own that intellectual property, there will be restrictions on what WWE can do with the gimmick. But I know WWE's legal team, they're smarter than all that, so they do have a plan in play to get this from Impact as cheap as possible. Signature Kevin, WWE needs to sign Trevor Lee when his contract is up. Trevor Lee is a great talent. Would be somebody I would love to see on 205 Live, to be honest. AJ Styles, can you tell me when will Dylan Miley come to the main roster? Actually, I think there was news on him that I saw. Not him coming to the main roster, though. Give me 1 second to look through this really fast. Oh, why won't this come up now? Oh, I want to say that there was something that was changed on his character. Let me find it. Let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chat while I look this up. Jaden says dream match, Young Bucks DIY revival ladder match for the tag titles. Would be good. Gerardo says dream match, Kenny Omega wins the Rumble and it's Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles in the main event of WrestleMania 34. Whoo, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that right there, I tell you what. DeAndre Dukes dream match, Sabre versus Joe in a 60-minute Iron Man submission match. Ooh, that's a tough one. That would be good. I don't know. It would be. I think it'd be a good match. Let's see. Where was this that I saw? Here we go. Dylan Miley. His name has actually been changed over the weekend. He was introduced at a live event in St. Petersburg as Lars Sullivan. He has also changed his Twitter handle to @LarsWWE. So he's no longer being called Dylan Miley. He is now being called Lars Sullivan. Signature Kevin, how many promotions does Drew McIntyre have left before he's with WWE officially? Now I know the only two he really had to finish up with were Evolve and What Culture. He's done with Evolve. He wrestled against Cody at their last big show. But I don't know if he's done with What Culture. I don't know if he has gone and dropped the championship yet. If he has, then he's done. If he hasn't dropped that championship in What Culture yet, then that's all he has to finish. Broken T Hall, could Young Bucks, Cole, Omega come to WWE, AJ Styles, Finn, Gallows, and Balor Club? If the Young Bucks are going to come to the WWE, It's not going to be till 2019, unfortunately. December of 2016, they did sign a new 2-year deal with New Japan and Ring of Honor, which has them locked in till December 2018. So essentially, they're not going to be able to go anywhere until 2019. Kenny Omega, though, he's only signed on till like next February or March with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's see. Broken T-Boyd says, I started watching Lucha Underground since it's on Netflix. I gotta say, it's not bad. It's not bad. The first season's really good. Season 2's good. But Season 3, I said this, I think it was yesterday on the live stream. I haven't liked Season 3, and I got a little backlash for it. A lot of people are like, really? Like, I love Season 3. I love everything Lucha Underground. But in my opinion, if you compare it to Season 1 and 2, Season 3 has just been there. Broken Trey Boyd says he's done. Matt Kirby's the new What Culture Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, if he dropped that title, which it's what I heard was going to happen, he's going to drop it to Kirby, then boom, he's done. He should be good to go WWE only. I'm pretty sure he's done with ICW. I know he's done with Evolve, and since he dropped the title, he's done with What Culture. So yeah, he's WWE for life for now. John J. Duke's dream match. Bobby Roode, John Cena. Could be good. Seeing it play out in my head. Alright. Be a good one. I mean, let's see. Dream match. Adam Cole, Kevin Owens. Since they're like their best buds, that's like you've got Kevin Owens has 2 best friends. Sami Zayn, Adam Cole. You see how well him and Sami Zayn are. Him and Adam Cole are just as good. You put Adam Cole and Kevin Owens on a WWE pay-per-view, that match is going to be one of the best matches in the entire company through the whole year. Those two are great together. And it's because of their friendship. Like everyone says, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens work so well together because they're friends. And friends will hit each other harder. Well, Owens and Cole are just as good, if not better friends. DeAndre Dukes, do you think Enzo and Cass are starting to get stale? I can see a little bit. Especially that they say the same thing every time. It's not even the fact of, they come out and they cut a different promo every week. They almost every week say the exact same thing. So that's one reason that I feel it's very stale. Like it's getting to that point where they need to change something, or the crowd's not going to be into it as much anymore. Because every single week it's, my name's Enzo Amore, and I'm a certified G, and this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that, and SAWFT, and like, it's the same thing every week. It's cool right now because they've only been on the main roster for a little over a year. So all these people that are doing the Enzo and Cass entrances on TV and at house shows, it might be their first time they've seen them live. It might be their first time that they're able to do it along with them. So it's still cool for them. It's still fun for them. But once you go back to places where you've been 2, 3, 4 times, people are going to be like, this is the same thing as last time. What's so cool about it? I've already seen this multiple times live. So yeah, I can see where, especially if you just watch on TV, you can think it's stale. But once you go and you see them a couple times live in person, I can really see that being, like, really feeling stale. Signature Kevin says, I would book Sanity versus the Wyatt family. You got to put the Wyatts back together first. Henry says, do you think WWE would ever sign Ivelisse? She was in WWE before. She was in NXT. She was on the NXT show, got cut by WWE, went to Lucha Underground when they started that up. So yeah, Ivelisse, let me get the exact Ivelisse. I'll tell you exactly. Let's see, Ivelisse. Alright, so Ivelisse started training at the age of 14 in Puerto Rico. Soon after, she debuted for WWC, which is the company that Carlito's family owns. In 2011, she was announced as one of 14 contestants on Tough Enough. On the May 10th edition, she was eliminated from competition due to a leg injury. After being eliminated, WWE was really interested in her and signed her. She went down to Florida Championship Wrestling, wrestled down there for a little while. Then in 2012, when they started NXT, she was brought into NXT. She did one match with Paige, did a couple other matches. She wrestled under the name, what was it? Sophia Cortez. And ultimately, she was, in August 2012, she was released. Her final match saw her losing to Tamina Snuka. Well, yeah, she has been in WWE before, but just for some reason, they released her. Ramiro, who do you think wins DIY Authors of Pain ladder match? I honestly think they should keep the titles on Authors of Pain, to be honest. Let's see. Take over Chicago. Let's get the full. Why isn't this not coming up? Here we go. Yeah. So right now for TakeOver, we know Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami for the NXT Championship. Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross, of course. Ember Moon has been pulled from that match due to a shoulder injury. Authors of Pain versus DIY for the tag titles in a ladder match. And Tyler Bate defending the UK Championship against Pete Dunne, which should be a really good match, as they did have a great match in the finals of the UK tournament. Henry Capuzzo, do you think they will ever get someone to be Sister Abigail? Honestly, I don't think so. We've been waiting so long for it, and they've teased it, and they didn't do it. And if they haven't done it yet, I don't think they're going to do it. Honestly, I don't think so, especially with them saying now that her body's been destroyed. Chris Gomez, do WWE NXT stars get paid less than the main roster talent? Let's say $24K for NXT Raw. Yeah, NXT guys do get paid less. The exception was Nakamura. When he was down there, he was getting paid like a main roster guy, though. So there are some exceptions, but it's very rare. I know there was another one who was getting, I think it might have been Kevin Owens, but they knew that he wasn't staying down there long, and he didn't. Like when you say, oh, guys aren't going to stay in NXT long, he did not stay down there long. He got the title, feuded with John Cena rather quickly before dropping the title, lost the title to Finn Balor, and then was right on the main roster. So he was not down there long at all. Everybody expected something similar with Nakamura, and he stayed down for a year. Let's see. Signature Kevin, who's the manager of Authors of Pain? He looks creepy. Well, Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering is a great manager, been around for years. He was most notable back in the, I think, 70s and 80s. He was the manager of the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk. Yes, in the 80s, looking at it now. In the 80s, he was the manager of the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk. That's what people most remember him from. And his daughter's now wrestling. She was trained by Lance Storm, Rachel Ellering. She's wrestled in Impact Wrestling on TV. She's wrestled multiple times in the WWE and NXT. And I have heard her name floating around for the women's tournament. Ramiro says, I think Nikki Cross would have been a great Sister Abigail. Oh, yeah. I said that when I first saw her with Sanity. I was like, oh, you wasted an opportunity. You wasted a big opportunity, to be honest. DeAndre Dukes, do you think Enzo and Cass should have been NXT tag should have been champions in NXT or Raw? Not really, because they're a novelty act. I can see Cass maybe one day being like a US or IC champ. But I don't know if it's just that Enzo drags it down or if it's both of them, but I just don't see them being champions. I do know that if they didn't sign the Hardys at Mania, there was like a 95% chance that they would have won the titles at Mania, just because they knew that would have got the best reaction, or one of the best reactions of the night, But with the Hardys signing in, they had to put the titles on the Hardys. Ramiro, Cuervo, what is your first WWE memory? So, as a kid growing up, my grandfather always watched wrestling, but I wasn't really into it for like the first 8 years of my life. I didn't really understand what it was. I wasn't around, like, I didn't sit and watch it with him because I wasn't really around him enough. They lived 4 hours away. And when we'd come down and visit 3 or 4 times a year, and I'd see it on the TV, but I never really was like, oh, what is this? Let me watch it. Then in 1998, keep in mind I was born in 1989. So in 1998, I had a kid move in across the street from me. We became friends, and he was like, it was a Monday, and he was like, hey, you want to come over and watch wrestling with me? And I was like, watch wrestling? Well, what's that? And so he's like, just come over and watch it. And I saw a Hardy's match, the first thing I saw. It was his favorite guys, the Hardy Boys. I saw a Hardy Boys match, tag match, and I was hooked. I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin, became a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. Then I learned who The Rock was, and I learned who Triple H was, and DX. And then eventually about, I don't know, a couple months, 6 months later, I found out what WCW was, and I was just like all in. I mean, yes, I was more WWE or WWF than WCW. I didn't watch much WCW as a kid, but I watched enough to know what it was, and I knew who the NWO was, of course. So that's my earliest memories of. I knew my grandfather always watched it growing up. I'd seen it like in passing on the TV and stuff, but never really was like, okay, let me see what this is. But then once I had a friend that showed it to me, I was like, wow, I love this. And I watched almost every week from then on. So, let's see. Henry says, I think Peyton Billy should be an Australian heel team with Emma. Interesting. It's a very good one. Oh, as far as Emma goes, Emma is no longer in Europe. Emma's injury is so bad that she can't wrestle. They have sent her home. Emma is no longer on the European tour. European tour is supposed to wrap up this weekend. It's going to run all this week and this weekend. And Emma already got sent home, which is bad news. All right, let's see. Signature Kevin says, if they did split Enzo and Cass, I see Enzo as a heel and having to turn on Cass with like some low blow and having a feud. I guess you can say that. Excuse me, I guess that would work. The DWA show, what was the first WWE show you ever attended? It was in, really, I didn't attend a WWE show for the first time till like 2000. It was a Smackdown live taping in 2008, I want to say. It may have been late 2007, early 2008. It was a Smackdown live taping. That was the first actual live event I went to. It's a long time before I actually ever went to one. I almost went to Royal Rumble 05. But I don't know exactly what happened with that. I guess my parents didn't want to go, and I wasn't old enough to go by myself. And yeah. So yeah, I had a friend that went to Royal Rumble 05, and I was super jealous, and he called me from the damn arena and was like, hey, I'm here. Are you watching on TV? Yeah, I'm watching on TV. But yeah, first actual live event WWE show that I did go to was a SmackDown live, well, not SmackDown live taping. Back then it was just SmackDown. A SmackDown taping. It was late 2007 or early 2008, around that time. But with that, I guess that's going to do it for this edition tonight. We talked about SmackDown Live and a bunch of other topics. We took your phone calls. I do want to say thank you to everybody who was here on the live stream. Callers, listeners, people that chatted in the live chat, people that called here up on our Skype number. I appreciate it so much. If you guys can, go to my channel and check out the podcast video we posted today with Heel by Nature. Let us know what you thought of that video in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of our views on Braun Strowman and what they now have to do with Brock and Roman now that Strowman's out with an injury. What do we thought? Our thoughts of Jinder and Rusev getting pushes, JBL on Bring It to the Table, and who we think could win Money in the Bank. So go check that out on my channel, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And let us know in the comments what you thought. If you guys showed enough love, if you guys let us know that you want more of us together, then we're going to try and make this a more regular thing. Maybe do it weekly, once a week or so. Do one on his channel, do one on my channel, and go from there. Again, if you want to help out Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you can always do so by going to gawkbox.com/PWUnlimited, interact with their website. Doesn't cost you anything, and then they tip us. If you're here in the live stream, you can always hit that super chat button. You can also, in the description of this video, check out our Streamlabs page, where you can donate there, or you can go to our TeePublic store, and you can go there and get one of our shirts. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody that was here with us live for this Tuesday night, May 9th, 2017, SmackDown Live review. We talked way more than just SmackDown. But again, thanks guys for being with us here tonight, and we'll see you on Friday. Well, live on Friday. We'll be posting videos all week. I got videos coming after this tonight, hopefully. But yeah, next live stream should be Friday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Again, thanks guys. Have a great Tuesday night.